most people don't realize that when you upload an image to WordPress, WordPress automatically creates multiple variations of that image. So if you have 1,000 images on your site, you in reality might have 10,000 or even 20,000 images on your website. And here's the kicker. Most of these image variations that WordPress creates automatically are never shown anywhere on your site. You might be wasting gigabytes upon gigabytes of storage on your website, on your server, without even realizing it. Thankfully, there's a wonderful solution I'm going to show you in this video so that you can delete all these image variations safely without harming your website in any way, and you can do it quickly and easily as well. The solution to this problem is a brand new plugin by the Duplicator team called WP Media Cleanup. The link is in the description in the pinned comment, and if you go to Duplicator's website, which I'll share on the screen as well, you can go to WP Media Cleanup directly from the menu entry here. And if you click on it, you'll see some detailed features here. But I'm going to just demonstrate how it works, what are the advantages, and how it protects your website from being or doing any of these manual processes while keeping your website safe and only deleting the images that your website does not show. So let's head to my WordPress website so I can demonstrate all of these features for you. So here I am in my WordPress website, and you can see I already have the plugin installed, and you can see it here. You can see the Media Cleanup menu entry. We can go to the dashboard first so I can demonstrate what the features are, and then I'll show you how the cleanup process actually works. So inside the dashboard, you can see that I have 114 images that I uploaded, which are not the variations of the original images. And WordPress might have created 5, 10, whatever versions of images of these that I'm not using. Total image size is 308 megabytes, 32 variations removed. I tried this yesterday as well. So I removed some of the variations, but there are a lot of variations that are not removed. I'm going to show you that as well. So this gives you a snapshot of how many images your website has and what's the cleanup process you performed, and if you need to clean up or perform the cleanup once again. So I'll head to the cleanup section right now, which you can go from the menu entry here. Just below the dashboard, you see cleanup. So if you go to the cleanup menu option, you'll find the big button here, scan for unused variations. Now, I'll perform the scan first. I'll show you how the scan works. Then I'll tell you what the scan actually does and how or what kind of images are selected. So I'll click scan for unused variations, and you'll see that the process will not take much long. It's a very fast process, and you'll see all the unused variations on the site. Now, I want to clarify a couple of things here. You might see a lot of variations and you might be thinking, hey, what if the actual image is deleted? I might need to use it in the future. So I want to clarify a couple of things. WP Media Cleanup only finds the images that are not being utilized on site. So it scans for pages, posts, custom post type, custom fields, widgets, sidebars, everywhere images are being used, and only tells you the variations that is never or not being used anywhere on the site. So all the images you see here, the variations you see here, are all the variations that are not being used on the site. And secondary, if you upload a very high resolution original image, WP Media Cleanup does not touch any original image. It doesn't have to be high resolution, but any image that you upload as the original image is never deleted. Only the variations that WordPress automatically creates are flagged here for deletion. And of course, you can manually delete them here one by one once the variation is set, or we can bulk delete them. So the original image is never deleted, and only the images that are never used on the site are being deleted. So let me show you how the process works. So right now, 47 images that have been found have 235 variations that I'm not using on the site, and total around 30 megabytes will be freed just with this one scan. So if I select all images, I can go here and select delete all. So let me click delete all, and you'll see a notice here. I'll click OK, and I'll process it in batches. So my CPU resources are not being utilized. And you see the 5th batch is now processed, and all these images, 47 images with all the variations, have now been deleted. And now I can completely see a clean dashboard here. Now, what if you accidentally delete some variations that you were supposed to use in the future? Now, thankfully, WP Media Cleanup does support restore feature. So when you delete an image, it's not actually completely deleted. It's first moved to a temporary folder. So you can restore it for 30 days if you like, and you can manage the actual duration that the images are saved in a temporary folder. It's similar to how if you delete a photo from your phone, it goes into the recycle bin first, and only after a few days, 30 days of not actually restoring it, the image is actually deleted. So if you want to see the same feature here in action, all you have to do is go to the restore feature in the menu entry here. If you go to the restore feature, you'll see all the images that were recently deleted that have not been permanently deleted. So you'll see the backup date or the file size, everything else, and you can see the expiry as well. So you can be sure that when the image is actually going to be deleted permanently from your server. So you can scroll here, you can find the right image, and if you accidentally deleted an entire batch that you wanted to use, you can always go to restore all, and it will restore all the images currently in the restore folder or in a temporary folder. So that's one way to easily save yourself if you accidentally delete an image or set of images that you were going to utilize. Very easy to. And if you go to the history option, you'll find all the history or all the actions that have been taken by the plugin or taken by anyone using the plugin. So that's another way of knowing what is being deleted, what's happening on the site. And if you want to go to the settings and configure a few things, let me show you them as well. So if you start here, this is the first setting I talked about in the restore section. You can keep the backups for any number of days as you like. So the default is 30 days. If you want to reduce it to 15 days, that's up to you. If you want to increase it to 60 days, that's up to you. Same for history as well. You can keep the history for lesser days or as a longer duration as well. And then this is the process of what to scan. So this is what I'm mentioning over that WP Media Cleanup scans for any images that are being utilized in pages, posts, sidebar widgets, theme settings, and even custom fields. So if you have a particular requirement where you don't want a certain set of images to be scanned, you can enable or disable these options. And if you want to preserve a certain size of image, maybe for a future change you want to bring, you can configure the options here. So by default, you'll see here that a thumbnail and full WordPress default will be required. They cannot be disabled, but any other image you want to delete or a variation you want to delete, you can enable and disable this. So you still have control over what kind of image variations you don't want to have. And you can always see the performance settings that if you have a lot of images to be deleted, you might think that, hey, will my server completely use all my resources for this deletion? So you can always do a batch size. So the image is actually deleted in batch. And if you're a developer who manages WordPress sites for clients, WP Media Cleanup also supports CLI, WP CLI. If you go to that dashboard, if you scroll down, you'll see WP CLI, this is a CLI, automation support. You'll see some commands here. So with CLI, you can actually log into your client's websites and delete the temporary images or delete the images, unused images from their websites with the help of command line interface instead of having to manually log into every website. So that's WP Media Cleanup View. It's included or bundled with some plans of Duplicator. You can go to the Duplicator website and see if your plan already includes WP Media Cleanup. Otherwise, you can purchase the plugin separately for a very affordable price. Details will be on Duplicator website in the description if you're watching this on YouTube, and some other blog posts if you're watching this on blog post. My name is Yuvraj. You're watching WP Cleanup. Enjoy the plugin. It's a wonderful plugin, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.